That was so weird. Hold on. Let me just refresh on YouTube. All I had to do is turn off my broadcast to X and it started. Wait, maybe. I'm sorry. This has just never happened to me before. I'm just trying to figure out why I'm in trouble on Streamlabs. I pay them a lot of money. Okay, I am live on Twitch. Yep, live on YouTube again. Okay, so whenever I turned off X, it was fine. Whatever, I hate being live on there anyways. All it does is make people want to unalive me. So it's no skin off my back. I'm just resetting the super chat goal really quick. Oh my gosh, it's pausing. I have no idea what's happening. Hey Leah, you're there. I see you in the chat, but I feel like something weird is happening. Nope, I'm live again. I am live. I don't know what's happening. It's not my internet connection. I know that. Even TikTok Studio, for once, TikTok Studio is fine. Okay, I'm live. It says I'm live. I'm just going to keep going because I don't know what is happening. Hopefully everything's fine. If not, you guys, I'll say it while you guys can hear me. If something happens again, just come to TikTok because I have no idea why. That I think something was happening with X, and as soon as I stopped going live there, everything was fine. Okay. Yeah, I think. Yep, we're live in both places. I can see how shitty my video looks on YouTube. Okay, this is the next clip.
Do you have a readout?
Oh, I would love to share the readout, but I revere the office of presidency. So
this is Gavin Newsom basically saying, like, if I could tell you, and not the call Trump lied about. Remember, Trump basically lied and said he talked to Gavin Newsom, and Gavin Newsom's like, this guy's insane. I never talked to him. This is before that, the one time they did talk, and Gavin Newsom's basically like, if I could tell you what this man said to me, you'd be horrified.
Do you have a readout?
Oh, I would love to share the readout, but I revere the office of presidency, so I'll keep it in confidence. He has quite literally made up components of that conversation. He's been a stone-cold liar about what he said we talked about. He never discussed the National Guard, period, full stop. I would love to share with you what he actually talked about. That would send shivers up your spine.
Attorney.
Did you hear him? He almost said the F word. I'm pretty sure. Do you know what I mean? Like, he was almost like, it would send shivers up your effing spine. If I told you what this crazy person, how many times have I said Evan? That's what he was about to say. He'd be like, you'd be sick if you knew what this crazy person said to me. I know. Let's do, and this is what I always say this. I talk to this, like, whenever, like, people get discouraged about Trump, I always say, like, Trump can't live forever. And I think what's most fascinating to me is, like, once he's gone, and years go by, the stories that are going to come out. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, conservatives are going to be like, oh, let me tell you what he trapped me in a room and said. Like, we are going to hear stories that, like Gavin Newsom said, will send shivers up our spine. Like, Trump's not going to be alive for long. And then people are going to be like, yeah, I recorded all my conversations with him because I thought he was going to throw me in jail. Like, can you imagine the books that are going to be written about this? No, and this is, I think, of all the good Gavin Newsom has done this week by speaking out. Well, it's his job. He needs to be speaking out and telling the truth. But I think this is what I appreciate is him telling the truth about what ICE is up to.
I was in Oxnard, California, and Ventura County yesterday, met with three people directly impacted by indiscriminate raids. I met a 12-year-old boy in 6th grade, weeping, crying, tears pouring down his face. His mother and father were both detained. They disappeared. He has no brothers, no sisters, no family. He quite literally is on his own, abandoned. That's Donald Trump's America. 20 plus years, his mom and dad working in the same fields, doing the same packing and shipping. 20 plus years. They've disappeared. 12-year-old boy. You saw the images of ICE officers running through strawberry fields CBP helicopters above. I met a woman, a single mother, who was walking out at 5:45 a.m. to get in her car. 7 agents surrounded her. They took her in a car, in essence kidnapping her, driving her around for almost 2 hours until she finally convinced the agent, because she has 3 young children, a 16-year-old, a 14-year-old, and an 8-year-old, that they needed to get to school, and there's no one to help them get to school. She was finally allowed to call her oldest daughter, who was interrogated by the agent and threatened. And they threatened her after they dropped her off, said, "We may be back." Terrorizing this single mother. No criminal record, no criminal background. I met another young woman whose husband has quite literally disappeared. No criminal record. She doesn't know what to do. She doesn't even know what happened. That was just yesterday. That's Donald Trump's America. Agricultural workers. Think about that when you have dinner tonight. Think about when you enjoy your first course. Have some fresh fruit, some fresh vegetables. Who provided those?
I'm sorry, Gavin, but in true that was a rich person slip. Would you enjoy your first course? Okay, all right. Well, some of us have one course.
Think about when you enjoy your first course. Have some fresh fruit, some fresh vegetables. Who provided those? Who supported you in that? Think about it when you go home and the construction around your property. Or maybe you're getting a remodel. Who's doing that work? Destroying not only the foundations of our democracy, the best, again, of the Roman Republic and Greek democracy, but now our economy is at risk because of the recklessness and the cruelty of Donald Trump, the indiscriminate cruelty of Donald Trump.
At least he didn't say amuse-bouche, which that's a French for, tickle the senses. An amuse-bouche is usually one bite of something. At least he wasn't going that far. It could have been worse, but yeah, Gavin, we're not having courses. People can't afford to eat, bless your heart. But he's trying. He's doing his best. He's trying really hard, you guys. He's trying to relate to us. He lost it there for a second. He needs to rein it the F back in. Yeah, it literally means to amuse your mouth. Tickle your senses. Oh, Joanna's coming back to scream. I'm just kidding. I don't know what. Hey, girl, hey.
Hey,
Good, thank you.
No, Gavin, I really haven't forgiven you for courting the white nationalist, but I do enjoy that you dragged Trump to the seventh circle of hell. Also, thank you for dragging my governor. If there are any Arkansans in here, he dragged Sarah Huckabee Sanders to the ninth circle of hell as well. She proceeded to get on social media and say, this kind of violence would never happen in Arkansas because we value law and order over chaos. To which Gavin promptly replied, Arkansas's homicide rate is double that of California. Like, Sarah, what are you talking about? It's nuts. One of my classmates who barely graduated his own mother's class when we were in high school, clocked that T, got on there after I commented and was like, Sarah, you're still stupid. Stop embarrassing us, please shut up. And was like, yeah, but California's COVID death rate was higher than Arkansas's too. I was like, no, once again, it wasn't. Well, Arkansas had 13,000 and California had 75,000. Sir, Los Angeles is bigger than the state of Arkansas. Of course there were more. Do you not know the difference between raw numbers and rates? And then I remembered who I was talking to and that he can't read and do math either. So I let the conversation go. Of course, I cussed him out a couple of more times because he wouldn't stop commenting. And I like cussing people out when they comment stupid things because it's fun. But yeah, shout out to Gavin for getting it together a little bit. I guess, you can get a hand
When
clap,
I
but I'm
grow
not
up,
going
I
to
want to
do
care like you don't care. You're younger than me, and you care less than me. I wish I didn't care as much as you don't care. I need to work on that. That's what my therapist says too.
You should. It's a skill. I feel like if I had a more traditional job, I would probably care a little more. When I was looking for a second job, my mom was like, you may want to watch what you say on Facebook because, employers look at social media. I was like, I don't care. Because I'll say the same thing in the workplace as well. and I'm going to need them to know this is what you're getting, and people enjoy commenting. I'm going to tell your boss what you said. Yeah, listen, Jed Clampett. My boss is black. The majority of the city council is black. All of them agree with me. So if you want to tell me our city council meetings are the first Tuesday of the month at 7 p.m. Central, you can come in whenever you feel like it, but I need to let you know that I cut the chief of police's checks, so if I tell him to kick you out, he's going to. So tread lightly. Everybody in the chat, I need y'all to tread hard. We're at 510. Let's get up to 550 and then up to 600. The people have been doing great and we appreciate it. The receipts have been receipting, and I need y'all to keep up the good work. We're at 643 shares. We can get that up to 800 to 1,000 by the end of this live. I feel it. Y'all have it in you. Keep going. Thank you for all the Cash Apps and Venmos that y'all have sent, Felice. For tips, it's right on the screen. Etta Girl Has No Name. I'll also periodically post it with clovers and stars in the chat so you can see it if you forget. Shout out to everybody that gifted subs. We appreciate you. We're at 453. If you're not already a friend, you should definitely become one. We're closer to 500. We're creeping back up there. Help us get back up there as well. It's Gemini season. I'm going to let y'all finish because y'all know Virgo season is
Don't
coming
leave
up.
yet. Hey, did you request on purpose? Wait, did I unmute? Stefan? Are you there, sir? Hello? Sir?
Stephen Odenson?
Oh, wait, maybe he's muted. I just invited him. I don't know what's going. I don't know what just happened. Are you
One,
there?
two, three.
What's
Hello?
going on? Hey, yeah, now I can hear you. What's
There we
happening?
go.
Hi.
Technology. I just had a thought coming home from the grocery store today. Do you remember, not too long ago, there were some politicians
Higher percentage chance I remember then.
I'm sorry?
It's a joke. I said not too long ago. Probably remember.
Okay, I'm sorry. There was some New Zealand, I believe it was from New Zealand, some politicians who disagreed with being railroaded on something, so they performed a ritual dance called a haka.
Yeah.
And I was thinking as I was driving home, wouldn't it be interesting, because it's meant to intimidate, but it's also meant to unify. Can you imagine if everyone at the base of the Los Angeles situation were to engage in maybe an American haka, and that would be something that we already know and was designed to celebrate Freddie Mercury during Pride Week, and we just simply started the beginning chant of "We Will Rock You" with the stomp stomp clap, and how thunderous that might be, and send a message that we're unified. I don't know. That's just something I wanted to throw out there. I invite your comments.
Well, what we want, yes, let's definitely not appropriate indigenous culture in any way. If white people want to gather together and muster the rhythm that they have.
Right. I'm not, I don't want to be dissing another person's culture.
Yeah,
but I do appreciate the sentiment of that.
Yeah, and I love a haka. Trust me, I have all of the. I know exactly what you're talking about, and I love them. Whatever. I love Freddie Mercury as well. I think it's not a bad idea. I agree. I don't know. I didn't even mean. I'm not even sure how this is happening right now. I agree. I think any sort of peaceful protest that doesn't end in violence in any way is welcome.
Absolutely.
Have we ever met?
I don't believe so.
Okay, I'm just asking because I don't know. Sometimes I don't know if I pushed a button. I'm not even sure how this is happening right now. I think that's fair. Are you going to any Los Angeles protests this weekend?
Oh no, I'm a old man who's going to sit at home and drink coffee and pet dogs. So,
well, you sound white, so you should get out there and use your privilege. He probably will be the last one to be arrested.
I would. Well, my sign will say Matthew 25:40, which is whatsoever you do to the least of my brothers, that you do unto me. Yeah.
Yeah, throw the Bible back in their face.
Exactly. Read the red letters, guys.
Yeah, great job. Go out there and get
Anyway,
them, or hang out
I'm
at your house.
I'm sorry to have bothered you. I just needed to
No,
get
you
that out
didn't.
of my head. So
Okay. White
But-
people gather together and do the "We Will Rock You" chant. But I do love Freddie Mercury. That's it.
no, who doesn't? So, but anyway,
I would
thank you
play
very
it,
much.
but I can't because it's a music copyright violation. I really would.
Yes.
Have a great
Thank
day.
you
It's
so very
nice to
much.
meet
You
you,
too.
Stefan.
Mhm. Bye.
I don't know if I let. I really just. I've no. I was like, did he just come up here on his own? I don't know what
It
just.
wasn't me. I was like,
I was
oh,
like, wait. I was like
yes.
waiting for you to say something. I thought
Yeah,
you were going to be
no.
like, this is my friend who I invited up here. And I was going to be like, oh, it's nice to meet you. I did not know what was. I was like, okay. Like, cool. I thought he was going to either attack us or. Okay, cool story. I'm going to get on with this because otherwise we're going to be here for like. Thank you
For 8
so
million years.
Exactly.
Thank y'all for doing y'all's big one. Let's hurry up and get up to 550K. We're in the middle of a subway. We are at 455 subs. So if y'all want to continue to keep turning that up, do that as well. We appreciate it. We have 7 more of the gifts until we reach the gift goal. So get on that train as well. Let's get these shares up and back to the show.
Thanks, Joanna. You're the best. And oh yeah, I just noticed. Thank you so much. I wanted to say really quick, thank you for the $20 on Cash App, JPT Farms. You're the best. And also, Anthony, thank you for the $10. You're so handsome, Anthony. Great Cash App picture. Thank you for the $10. Okay. Sorry, that was a weird intermission. That's crazy. If only white people can get all their rhythm together. That's a good idea. That might be the only rhythm they can clap. You guys got this. You can do it. Okay, wait. I feel like, yes, this is the best one. This is actually good. I'm glad we had to pause because this is one of my favorite clips of Gavin Newsom and his point because this is the truth.
What do you make of the president today coming out and saying he wants to protect California farm workers from deportation, given what you...
This is what he does. He creates a problem, and then he tries to be a hero in his own Marvel movie. Did it on... fill in a blank. On almost every topic, creates the problem, and then tries to do a make-believe as if you're all perfect little sheep, and you're going to go on with it to be the hero in his own Marvel movie. He initiated those raids. He significantly increased the scale and scope of those raids. That's why he wants the National Guard.
That's what I'm saying, and I'm not like this is the best of Gavin. So let's all let it wash over us like a gentle wave, lest he goes back to interviewing and giving Andrew Jacksons to MAGA. This is the Gavin Newsom I like. But again, absolutely. Did I not say this earlier? This is what this man does. He creates a problem. I got rid of the Iran nuclear deal. Hi, I'm renegotiating a nuclear deal. I'm solving a problem I created and pathologically lied about in 2018. Hopefully, most of you aren't old enough to remember that. This is what Trump does. Causes irreparable damage and then is like, hi, I'm fixing the problem. I can't remember who created it. It's him. If you can't remember, it's always Trump.
Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of guardsmen and women now being dispersed everywhere, sprinter vans, unmarked, people with masks, running in, rolling over, some case running into cars. 6-month-old kid, a 3-year-old child in the back of the car, left. So, spare me, Mr. President, that he's sincere on it. But if he is, that happened because of you, It happened because of the American people, because they stood up. And that should give us some optimism. Thank you all very, very much.
Let me just say this. There is a person inside of Gavin Newsom that we all very much should want to be president. I have seen him. I've seen him this week emerge again. There is a very ethical person inside you, person who sees laws as utilitarian, not as a means to control, that wants the best for every human being. I know it's in there. I have seen it. When the worst comes out of Trump, the best in Gavin Newsom comes out. And I think that is what we are seeing this week. When Donald Trump becomes a monster, you see someone counteract that monster, and like it exists in there. It's in him. It's just I think a lot of moderate Democrats have it in there. That's why they're Democrats. They know they don't like what they see, but they need these like extreme circumstances to like bring out their benevolence, which I'm not saying it's a good or bad thing, but I'm saying it's in there, Gavin. I've seen it before. I saw it during COVID. I saw it during the George Floyd protest. I saw you like radicalize and start screaming against Trump. It's just, I think moderate Democrats need to, history doesn't repeat, but it rhymes. We've learned this before. Hanging out in the middle it only creates monsters like Mustache Man and Trump. That's what happens. People feel disenfranchised. Poor people who have nothing think, oh, Democrats are fine with consolidating power, corporations, and billionaires getting more and more while I have nothing. Cool. And then some pathological liar like Mustache Man or Trump comes along, promises them, I'm going to lasso the moon and pull it down for you. Everything's going to be great. And they're like, okay. And this is how you get there. When people can't see a clear vision of how they get somewhere where they can live in a way that they're not miserable, then when someone promises them the moon, and of course, logically, that makes no sense. Like, they're going to say, great, that sounds good to me. He promised me all these things. Now, what I need from MAGA is to recognize that none of those promises ever came to fruition. That's the real thing that concerns me, is how MAGA doesn't seem to be able to recognize, hey, I was given a lot of promises and none of them ever came true. Why can't you figure that out? Listen, this is a good one. And I was going to show you guys some of this yesterday. I didn't know Harry Enton was going to speak about it on CNN. Gavin Newsom addressing the nation on Tuesday night. It was one of the most watched things on the internet. And no one watches for-profit media. This was bigger than when Trump addresses the nation. This was huge.
All right, this is a big moment for Gavin Newsom. It's a big moment. Tell me something I don't know about him.
I'll tell you something that you don't know. A political star perhaps has been born, because how many people watched Gavin Newsom's speech on just YouTube alone? Get this. Over 3 million folks watched the speech on YouTube alone. The speech, of course, about Donald Trump and the ICE raids. And here's what's so interesting. To put that in comparison, Joe Rogan, a very popular podcast, the most popular in America, his average podcast episode over the last month has averaged only 1.6 million YouTube views this month. So Newsom's speech, very, very popular.
Okay. All right, this is
That's great news for us. I think we're finally getting the point. And I love this Brad guy. I think his name's Doggett. I don't know how to pronounce his name, but he made a great video illustrating what I've been screaming about these baked in giveaways to the technocrats, to the tech bros that have given Trump so much money. Like, for instance, in this case, that we cannot regulate. Remember, states' rights, brother? Right, MAGA? Remember when you cared about that? That no states can regulate AI for 10 years. And Brad made a video about it, and I like his calm way he communicates information. I think it's good.
In the big, beautiful bill, there is a segment of that says, for the next 10 years, they are not allowed
Yes.
to legislate or regulate AI in any way, shape, or form. It is prohibited by an act of Congress.
I mean, this is what these tech bros want. They want to just build their beautiful AIs and do whatever they want in any way that they want.
Such as this. Guys, these are all fake hot lady pro-Trump propaganda accounts.
I know you guys don't hang out on X, but I'm telling you, for every one real post on X, there's like 5 of these. It is terrifying. And it's not AI talking. I just want to clarify that because I was talking about someone this and they're like, well, you can tell they're not real. I'm like, no, they're not speaking. It's just like a hot face with like a message. And I think the reason this is so scary to me is because when I first started posting on TikTok, I was too scared to make a video I talked for like a year. So it was just like my face. And then I would post whatever I would say, like if I had the courage to talk. So like I find this super disturbing.
And I've been seeing these pop up all over TikTok. And all of them are the same. Every video is just a fake AI hot lady with the camera pointed at her. And there's always text on the screen that's usually just some pro-Trump propaganda that you'd probably find on Twitter. Now here's what's really spooky about all this. Hypothetically, super PACs could pay people to open up lots of accounts and just push out AI political propaganda. And going forward, I don't think the AI propaganda is just going to be hot people with text on the screen. I think we will also start seeing a lot more AI propaganda that's created with the intent of swaying public opinion, like this.
Hey team, Bob here, this is insane! They're chucking balloons full of oil at us, look!
Now if you go into those comment sections, you'll see a lot of people saying, oh, this is what the Democrats want. So guys, we're already here. We have already arrived at a place where AI is being used to sway public opinion on current events. And it's only a matter of time before this becomes an all-out bullshit information war between super PACs. So guys, if you would be so kind, please share this video and just spread.
Someone asked what his name is. I think, wait, can you see? Oh, you can't because it depends on how I do this. Hold on. I think you can see it when I screenshot it. This is his name. It's Brad.Doggett. Screenshot it. But Brad.Doggett. That is, if you want to follow Brad, and if you just start typing it, it comes up. Yeah. And people are typing it over and over. Thank you guys for doing that. I appreciate it. But I saw someone say, like, how do I follow him? That's how. And he's got a lot. He does a lot of like finds videos of MAGA saying dumb things and calling them out. Oh, this is so good because this is Ron Filipkowski talking about I forgot about this. We fund and arm Israel, who would never do this without our permission. Thank you. And we're talking now about Israel attacking Iran. We fund and arm Israel, who would never do this without our permission. But Lil Marco and his senile orange boss think there might be someone in the world who is as gullible as their domestic cultists. They're pretending like, we can't believe Israel would attack Iran. This is so crazy. And I didn't want to be as dramatic. I forgot I screenshotted this. I didn't want to be full dramatic, but I was like, Israel, we clearly knew because we were evacuating diplomats before it effing happened. Yeah, just so you know, this is something Trump wants. So I think the next step is to think about, why does he want it? How can he benefit? And I think the answer is, just like Netanyahu is staying in office during wartime, I think ultimately Trump is trying to create chaos, distract from his own shittiness, and ultimately will try to use some type of wartime declaration to never leave office. Oh, here's another good one. I thought Trump said there would be no more conflicts when he said president, since he blamed every conflict everywhere in the world for the last 4 years on Biden and said that none of them would have happened if he was president. I thought he was going full art of the deal with Iran. And this is one of Trump's sick events. Breaking: Israeli Minister of Defense Israel Katz declares a special special state of emergency in the home front throughout the entire state of Israel, following the state of Israel's preemptive strike against Iran. A missile and drone attack against the state of Israel and its civilian population is expected in the immediate future. No new wars, though. No new wars that don't benefit Trump. And understand, Trump knew prior we were evacuating diplomats. Everyone knows that. Even the New York Times is reporting that. This is the interview I wanted to show you, though, that's important. This interview, after Alex Padilla did that video, he was on CNN, and this is the interview, which I think has a lot of good information.
Do you think that it was because of how you look?
Look, I don't know what the motives are. I think the point is this, Aaron, and as I said when I came out of the building a little while after the incident, if this can happen to me, a United States Senator representing the state of California, if this is how the Department of Homeland Security and the people around the Secretary will treat a United States Senator for having the audacity to ask a question, then imagine what they can do, imagine what they are doing to people in communities, not just throughout Los Angeles, but throughout the country. Now, but back to the facts at hand here, because I also heard Governor Pawlenty's remarks. So let me just set the record straight. The point was made, this wasn't at a park, this wasn't in front of a shopping center, this was inside a secure federal building. Yes, I myself went through security screening to enter the building. Why was I even there? I was there for a scheduled briefing with representatives of NORTHCOM, Northern Command, because from the Department of Defense to the Department of Homeland Security to the White House and everywhere in between, this is an administration that has been anything but transparent and accountable to the members of the Senate, to the Congress in general, in our role of oversight and accountability. We have questions. We have questions. How is it that Donald Trump would, against the wishes of the governor of California, against the wishes of local law enforcement, federalize National Guard troops and deploy them into a city where local law enforcement says, we can control this.
And Senator, do you think?
Again, he was ushered into the building and then ushered into the press conference by a National Guardsman and an FBI agent. And as we already know, every single day we experience Kristi Noem, she's a pathological liar.
Is delayed because of the folks in that press conference. From the moment I entered the building, I'm being escorted by a member of the National Guard and an FBI agent. I asked, well, since we're waiting, can we go listen into the press conference? They escort me over to the press conference. They open the door for me.
So again, just in case anyone tells you otherwise, this has been documented, and I will forever keep this clip every time I have to talk to some MAGA person whose brain doesn't work and remind them that he was literally escorted into that room by the FBI and a National Guardsman. Kristi, no one knew who he was. Really? Are you sure? Are you sure? And you're gonna, oh God, I have so many things to show you that are gonna make you angry.
The door for me. I'm standing in the back, behind the reporters, behind the cameras, just listening in. And at one point, the rhetoric just got to be too much. Not the first time, but the second time the secretary takes it upon herself to say that the Trump administration wants to liberate the people of Los Angeles from the governor and the mayor. It was just too much. And so, yes, I said who I was. I began to ask a question, and it was maybe half a second later before there was multiple agents on me. They shoved me outside. I was trying to both get my question out and not lose my balance. One is telling me, get down on my knees, and the other one's pushing me in a different direction. There was no resistance. To the contrary, I kept asking, why am I being detained? Get down on your knees turns into flat on the floor. I'm trying, but I'm being pushed and pulled in different directions. I'm finally down on the floor. They handcuff me multiple times. Why am I being detained? No response, no response, no response. Finally, minutes later, I guess somebody around the secretary realizes this is the United States Senator. And they come running down the hall and finally say, let him go.
And they knew the whole time. They let him in the building as a U.S. Senator. He was let into the building and escorted to that press conference by a National Guardsman and an FBI agent. They knew the entire time he was a U.S. Senator. When he spoke out loud, he said, I'm a Senator Alex Padilla. I have a question. There is no doubt, even in this interview, I feel like he's being too nice. Everyone knew who he was, period.
So, again, the point is, if it can happen to me in that setting, imagine what they're doing to people all around the country. And Aaron, let me also underscore this. It's not just about immigrants' rights, which so many peaceful protesters are shouting about in Los Angeles. It's about all of our rights. The reason this crisis, this spectacle has been created by the Trump administration this week is because of all the bad headlines of recent weeks, right? Their budget bill is being exposed for what it is, gutting healthcare, gutting the social safety net to underwrite tax breaks for the rich. He certainly hasn't brought peace between Russia and Ukraine. He's losing every other day in court. He's broken up with his BFF Elon Musk. So what does he do? He distracts and he scapegoats and demonizes immigrants.
So
the door for
preach. It gets worse.
It took some restraint. Growing up where I grew up and how I grew up, Aaron, trust me, it's not easy when you may be pushed around like that by a law enforcement official to have that restraint, because it's a physical reaction. But you know that if you don't oblige, it can escalate even more so. So I think I was very, very restrained with everything that happened there. Flash forward to now I'm getting walked down a hall in handcuffs, not being told where we're going. Are they escorting me outside? I don't know. Am I taken to a detention facility? I don't know. It's probably not to another conference room to, go await the briefing, which never happened, by the way. After this all went down, the very folks I was supposed to meet with just said, no briefing after all. So, it saddens me, not just my kids that are watching this, and I've had to talk them through what happened and what it means and why I do what I do, but so many kids around the country seeing an administration that puts United States senators in handcuffs. This is not normal. We cannot treat it as normal. It took some...
Amen. Well said, Alex. And I think this is... Wait. Yes, here we go. This is the good one.
This man burst into the room, started lunging towards the podium, interrupting me and elevating his voice, and was stopped, did not identify himself, and was removed from the room. He didn't say who he was until he was already had been lunging forward, and people were trying to detain him for quite a period of time.
So that's what she said. I don't know whether that was before or after you spoke to her. She said you had a great conversation. What can you share about that conversation? Would you agree it was great?
Well, first of all, from the interview, of course, lies. We've already established I did not barge into the room. I wasn't lunging at her or anybody. And yes, I identified myself. So when the cuffs came off, they offered a meeting with the secretary. And Aaron, look, I'm just trying to do my job as a senator. When we ask questions in committee and don't get answers, okay, let's try another approach. We send formal letters, whether it's on my behalf or on behalf of so many of my colleagues, requesting information as to what the heck they're doing. They're not responded to. And so, yes, when I had a potential audience with the secretary, I took it. Sadly, still not forthcoming with any sort of data or details, because here's the problem.
She took that meeting. So remember her just being like, oh, and then we talked and there was no problem. And he told me to call him later. Like, everything's totally fine. Yeah, of course there was nothing she said. She was just trying to, probably told her, yeah, meet with him and smooth it over.
Any apology? Any apology for what happened?
You would hope that that's how the meeting would have started, but no apology, no acknowledgement whatsoever. But it's the Trump administration, so I'm not holding my breath for decency, decorum, or manners here. One of the big points I was trying to make with her, is, look, I get if the Trump administration was doing what Trump's out of the campaign trail. Let's focus on dangerous, violent criminals for detention and deportation. There's no disagreement there. There's no debate there. But that's not what's happening on the streets of Los Angeles and throughout the country. There are some, and that's a good thing, but when they're cruelly detaining and deporting, oftentimes without due process, so many other hardworking people who our country relies on, that is not in our national interest.
So,
thank you, Alex. Oh, and this is Mark Kelly, our astronaut senator from Arizona, astronaut, Air Force pilot, all of the things talking about this, which I think is very relevant.
he identifies himself at the end of the question when they're starting to handcuff him. Senator Alex Padilla. I'm Senator Alex Padilla. He's handcuffed on the ground, and he is going to be with us in just a moment. Senator Kelly, he's going to be here live. But the FBI Deputy Director Dan Bongino has just posted on social media that Padilla was not wearing a security pin and physically resisted law enforcement when confronted.
Lies. Dan Bongino is lying.
FBI personnel acted completely appropriately while assisting Secret Service, and we're grateful for their professionalism and service. Is that what you saw?
Well, we don't wear this pin here except in the U.S. Capitol. I don't wear it anywhere else. And she said this guy burst into the room. I saw an interview by Alex. He was already sitting in the room. And by the way, if you're the Secretary of Homeland Security and you're in the state of California, you should know what the two senators look like. I mean, she is a cabinet secretary. I mean, this idea this guy bursts into the room, it's ridiculous. It's on its face.
Racist microaggression is what it is.
It's not believable. So, I think what happened in that room is putting us on a very dangerous path.
Well, you have a very fair. He identifies himself.
I want to show you now one more thing that really upset me. I could show you a few things that really upset me, but the most important one. Wait, I need to find this. It is. But I hate this. Benny Johnson, who now apparently has White House press credentials, and Anna Paulina Lunatic. Talking about this is the max. So just understand, this man's paid hundreds of thousands of dollars, either by the Russian media, by Russia, or indirectly by Russia, unknowingly, or by the Trump administration to post, Trump's version of reality. And listen to what they were saying about Alex Padilla. This is count the microaggressions and lies that are being told on the MAGA side of this.
What's going on? What's going on with this jackass?
Well, what's crazy too is, so I think obviously this guy did this for clickbait, but also too, like, what actual testosterone dude goes in and tries to braid Kristi Noem? She's like the most
tries to break Kristi Noem? You mean who's escorted into a room prior to the start of the press conference by a National Guardsman and an FBI agent? Like, can you hear this?
Delicate, beautiful, tiny woman, and he's going in. What does he think he was going to like yell and scream at her? So I don't know if the guy is married.
She's a tiny woman. Do you hear this? Like, I cannot. She's delicate and tiny. She's literally the dumbest person I've ever heard speak. That's how I know her.
I don't know if he has daughters, but I think that Kristi Noem Security handled this in a very professional fashion. I can tell you that if that was, maybe some members of my family there, they would not have handled that as eloquently as our Secret Service did. And so the fact.
So again, that wasn't our Secret Service, and Senator Alex Padilla was escorted in there by a National Guardsman and an FBI agent. You heard Senator Mark Kelly say he was sat there prior to it starting. Then he asked a question. Not one word of this is true.
That he did that is just gross. But what's more interesting is that we were on the House floor, maybe within like an hour of this happening, and John Mannion, or the member from New York, actually decided to start screaming on the House floor at Mike Lawler. And I asked Lawler, I said, what the hell is that all about? And he goes, oh, well, he started screaming about what happened with Padilla. So he was like using that to make a scene, but literally Lawler walked by and then he just started screaming for no reason. So I don't know what's going on with these people. I think that they need to talk to a psychotherapist because they're just not acting normal. And also, we were voting, and so they're just starting to do weird stuff, Bunny. I don't really know what else to say other than that.
Other than the list of pathological lies you just told while suggesting Alex Padilla needs therapy, who's not a pathological liar, or you can't read and are a literal idiot, or a combination of both. I don't know what they are. I think you should go back to kindergarten and there you can learn to read and figure out what's going on. Like, I cannot believe this is the world like we live in. And if this sounds good to you, if this is your reality, you also are not smart and cannot read and cannot do math. Like, I just keep thinking back, and I hate arguing with women, but when I was debating, this girl or woman, her name's Millie, started screaming at me, wrong about the math. But more importantly, if you like economics, why don't you run a statistical analysis on how the legislation brought by the Conservative Party in the last 50 years? Run a statistical analysis on whether it benefited or discriminated against women. And then you tell me what's wrong with you. Like, any woman lying for the Conservative Party is fascinating to me. I get it. You're like Paulina Luna, you're Hispanic and can't figure out what's going on. Cool. At any moment, you have a supercomputer in your pocket, you can figure it out. You can figure out that nothing you believe is true whenever you want to. There's no excuse for it. There truly isn't. Truly. Cannot think of an excuse any longer. Anyways, I did not mean to scream about just this stuff for 4 hours. I did not expect to have this much passion and anger. I think maybe I need to do an extra live or something on Sunday and go through the Scott Bessent financial stuff. But if I go through it now, we'll literally, it will be another like 6-7 hours. So I think we are almost, can we get to 600K real quick? Let's tap the screen. Let's get to 600K. I'm trying to figure out, like I said, either I might debate with Fax tomorrow or maybe someone else. I don't know. I'm going to figure something out. I don't know if I'll be hanging out with my family for this weekend. It looks like no before my birthday. So I don't know. Maybe I'll be live or something. I'm going to figure it out. But I have all this extra information of these congressional hearings. But I've already been live 4 hours. And I just remembered Fax is starting his live in like 2 minutes. So in the interest of not detracting from that and also me not being live, that's why I'm wearing these glasses. I can't stare at computer screens anymore for longer than 4 hours because it's not making me feel good. So I'm going to end the live here. Let's keep tapping the screen. Lots to get to 600K. I am planning on being live Monday for my birthday. I think so. It's Monday. What the F else am I going to do? But hopefully I'll be doing something this weekend because I feel this like sense of anger that I need to talk to someone about why they believe things that are clearly not true. Like, not one word of what I see coming out of the Republican, and it's so easily disprovable. You have to know none of this is true at this point. So you want to spread lies. You are literally now in a machine. You're part of a propaganda machine happily. And I don't think we should let that go. So I'm going to figure this out. I love you guys too. You guys are the most amazing people. I love the people's receipts and I love hanging out with you all. And it keeps me literally saying, oh my gosh, Joseph, thank you for the $50 on Venmo. Happy birthday, please. Here's my contribution to the camera fund, Joe B1. Well, thanks, because you already gave the subs. But, I mean, we have to be like, we've definitely paid for the lens. So cool. Thank you so much. It's going to be awesome. Come next Wednesday. These clips are not going to look foggy. Even looking on YouTube, the live looks kind of foggy. So hopefully this will all be over as of next Wednesday. Thank you guys so much for always being here and taking care of me. I appreciate you guys so much, but I want to be able, I think I've been live now for 4 hours and 25 seconds. So I'm going to end the live so Fax can do his live, and then I'm going to figure out either we'll debate tomorrow or something, but I've been meaning to start debating on my own, so maybe I'll do that. I'll figure it out. Billy Ray, you're the best. Keep on keeping on. Pete accept signal chat. Spread the word. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate all your love and support. See you guys either Monday on Faxes Live or sooner than that, because my rage knows no bounds at this point. Everybody will be watching lives for protests tomorrow. Oh, yeah. And the No Kings protest. If you're going to be protesting tomorrow, please be careful. All I can say is do not let the cops get access to your phone. Do not make the mistake of letting your phone print or your face open your phone. That is the worst thing that can possibly happen. Do not let them get access to your phone, because then that's the quickest way to being on a list. I will see you guys, I'm sure, this weekend, because I feel something inside me is like snapping. I can't stand the lies anymore. Okay, see you guys probably tomorrow or Sunday. If not, I'll see you Monday morning on Faxes Live.